know, baby. Come see by me. KSBM. Come see by me, man. And we swing ride, swing live. You can roll with me or get rolled over. I'm going.
John D. Rockefeller in the late 1800s, and you have a big problem. It's the Industrial Revolution, and you have this giant oil empire.
Welcome back. KSBM, come see by me. This is the Come See By Me channel. I am Mr. Area Code, aka KSBM. Come see by me. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of people that kind of standardized America. We got the Rockefellers and the education system. I want y'all to check this video out. But before you do that, say, man, like, subscribe, hit the little bell. Everything that needs to be said right now, you already understood. Overstand? Let's get to this video, though.
So you're John D. Rockefeller in the late 1800s, and you have a big problem. It's the Industrial Revolution, and you have this giant oil empire, but you simply can't find enough wage slaves to keep the wheels turning. Unlike today, where you can just make a job post online, and a bunch of educated laborers will come flocking your way, back then, most of America was rural. Most of America lived simple lives on farms. They were...
I want us to think about it for a little bit. 20 years ago, you was born in the 80s. I was born in 80. I was born in the 80s. Think about how it was back in the day, and think about how it is right now. Then, look at where it's going, and tell me, don't answer me, just answer yourself. The things that we were taught, the things that we was brought up on, that's not even considered no more. That's not even the norm. When we had standards and we had procedures, we had proper way of doing things, all that is out the window. But we do have free will, and I want y'all to remember that free will. But let's break down this school system and what it was really designed for. I want y'all to pay attention. Anytime that I bring something out of me, I just want y'all to go look at it like I look at it. You understand what I'm saying? I was always told when I was little, everybody ain't gonna understand what you understand, son. And I get it, but at least now, today, we can put this stuff out here, and both of us, we can go check it out. Because I know you ain't sitting back in the classroom and just let them teachers teach you whatever that is that they taught you, and you just sit up there and you just believe that, and you didn't question nothing. Don't worry about if you're going to get in trouble or not. You just want to know for yourself. As long as you want to know for yourself, that's all you needed. Let's go. Let's continue.
Homeschool, they went to schools run by churches. They didn't know how to work a factory job or at an oil refinery. They weren't conditioned to clock in and out. So you needed a way to educate the population on a massive scale so they could come work for you. However, we don't want to educate them too much now, do we? Remember, knowledge is dangerous. There's a reason why slaves weren't allowed to learn how to read or write. So if you're gonna
some of y'all already know what I'm going to say. That's why they say put it in the book, because they know y'all not going to read it. But again, today, this information is wide open. Again, the age that we in, the age of Aquarius, that is knowledge bearing. And everything that was hidden is coming to light right now. And the ones, I don't like to use the words awake and woke and none of that. The ones who are connected, the ones who are vibrating on that certain frequency, they getting downloads and they starting to see images, and it's just coming to them like this here, just out of nowhere, out of nowhere. And them the ones that did ask the questions that the class got mad at because it was time to go, but they really wanted to know the information because they really wanted to go break it down and study it for themselves. Everybody else was just too busy accepting what was told to them and continuing to do what they had out there projected, like on a projection screen, or how they want us to live, or how they think that's how we living. But anyway, man, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. Let's get back to this here.
The masses, you have to tread very carefully. Teach them too much and they'll become too ambitious, too independent. They'll think for themselves. They'll become your competitors. Instead, you want to teach them just enough.
We already don't think for ourselves because they call it promotion. They call it promoting, advertising. They put it everywhere. Certain colors, certain restaurants have certain colors. Those colors present certain moves. That's why you got the reds, the orange, and they always intertwine and they always go together with fast food. And you see different signs and you wonder why kids who can't, I ain't gonna say they can't read, but they understand McDonald's. They understand the song, they understand when they see it, but put them in the classroom setting, some of this curriculum that they're being taught, they can't even break that down, but that that McDonald's. There's just something in there. Let's go to this.
So they can keep your empire running with a happy, obedient smile on their face. So what did you do? You helped pioneer the American public school system. All of a sudden, every parent could just send their kids off to a free public school funded by good old Rockefeller. To the rest of the world, you looked like...
And there was a video that I did. I was like, man, they was just conditioning us. You know what I'm saying? They got 8-hour days. They got 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 14, 16-hour days. All shifts. All these are different shifts. When you get older, and you know the ones that's in those fields where those shifts get long. Some people work 16, some people work 12, some people work 10, some people work 8, some people work 6. But whatever you're in, because if you play sports, then you got to count the time that you're in school, then you got to count practice, and then sometimes you got the games and tournaments. You add all that time in. That's with sports. That's with anything, man. Debate team. That's with anything. Theater arts. That's with acting. All those time frames was just getting you ready for the world out there. What they was getting you ready for? Oh, you think you was going out there to provide for your family? No, you already started in depth when you signed your name, when they voluntarily signed your name on the Social Security card. When they signed your name on, you didn't sign your name on the Social Security card because you didn't know no better, but somebody else had to. So now you're using it, but it's already signed. So that means you already dealt away in the deal that's going on. You are part of the deal. Let's go back to this John D. Rockefeller person and the Rockefellers and see what they figured out. Hey, man, look, you know what? We're gonna put the truth out in plain sight. We're gonna put it out in plain sight. It's gonna be so plain that they're not gonna understand it. We're gonna build a whole school system, and we're gonna put your kids in school, and we're gonna put them through school all the way through the 12th grade. Some of them gonna get free lunch, some of them not gonna get free lunch. We're gonna feed some of them, we're not gonna feed some of them. You make too much money to feed, you bring your own lunch, and the stereotypes and the types of living that's going on, and the people who had to live this way, and the people who was living that way. But all you was doing was preparing yourself to go to work for them. Not for yourself, because they taking money out your checking and they give it back to you in pieces and increments. But by the time they done use you up and all your time and all your age and all your youth and all your at your prime, because if you ain't out there making millions of dollars, I mean, come on now. But anyway, let's go back to the video. I ain't gonna spoil it. I'm gonna be quiet. Shh.
Saints, you were giving free education to all those uncivilized, ignorant Americans. But you now know the truth. By dangling the prospect of free education in front of millions of American parents, you were able to trick them into relinquishing their children to the states. That way, for 8 to 12 years of a child's most formative years, you get to condition them to be exactly who you want them to be. You get to decide what they learn and don't learn. You get to decide how they see the world. You
get to decide what they learn and don't learn. I'm asking one of you parents out there, have you been to a school meeting to where you are involved in what your child is learning? Or are you one of these parents who are at work providing for their little one to have things to be able to go to work? To be able to go to school. And if so, you're not really looking at they come home with it and they, the homework, and you just going over to make sure it's correct. But you're not even really going over the curriculum that they're trying to sell us. They done made some stuff up and sold it to us and teaching our kids that, and all we did was just continue to pattern. Some parents, they knew what it was. Hey man, don't ingest too much of that. I'll tell you the real story, you come over here. I don't want to spoil I can't violate your free will. I can't violate your free will. But what I can do is I could tell you that, hey, that hole right there that I just fell in, I'm telling you, it's right there, and hey, it's hard to get up out of. So I don't want you to fall in it. So I'm gonna make sure that nobody else gets to fall in that. That's what I'm here for, to make sure we ain't falling in that hole that I fell in. I don't want nobody else falling in. When I fell, man, I almost hurt myself, almost paralyzed myself. I was able to get myself up out that hole, with a little help, paying attention. But anyway, go back to Rockefeller, what he was doing, man. He was building a whole working class, man, for himself so he can make money and profit off who? Us. We think we in there getting an education. Education of what? What they told us. They told us, and we bought it, and we went with it. We don't even know who made the curriculum or who even wrote the book. We ain't even studied the person who... Then I come to find out the other day, I'm watching YouTube and some stuff. I find out that it's a dude that was in charge of all the school curriculum and anyway, Anyway, let's continue.
get to condition them to be scared, to be fearful, to be obedient, to not chase after their dreams, to accept mediocrity. You get to teach them that if they don't follow orders exactly to the T, they are a failure.
I can't believe it.
B is for bitch! Because these are the traits that make for a good laborer. And it worked. By giving every American access to free, standardized public education, you were able to solve the labor problem in America. Now, every generation that came after it would go into school filled with innocence, creativity, and joy, and they would come out of school as an obedient worker that doesn't want to rock the boat. Workers who are perfectly happy making their employers rich.
Education system is predicated on the idea of academic ability, and there's a reason. The whole system was invented around the world. There were no public systems of education really before the 19th century. They all came into being to meet the needs of industrialism.
Yes, our entire education system today was created because John D. Rockefeller needed more workers. But it wasn't just Rockefeller. So you're John D. Rockefeller in the late, which is why to this day So you're John D. Rockefeller in the late 1800s. And you have a big problem. It's the Industrial Revolution, and you have this giant oil.
Couldn't even press pause fast enough. Rockefeller was looking for a working class that can keep his pockets fat. So he said, I'm going to create a public school system, and I'm going to educate them, and I'm going to teach them what I want them to teach. I'm going to teach them what I want them to know. I'm going to teach them what I want them to know. Then I'm going to tell them, you got to complete 12th grade to get a degree. Why everything always got to do with 12? Knock, knock. What? 12? What's up with this 12? January, February, March, that's 12. 12 on the clock. 12 twice. 12 disciples. I mean, man, we can go on and on. So it's something significant about that 12 is what I'm trying to tell us. It's a hole right there. I fell in it. And I want us to know. First thing I want you to know, what's up with this number 12? But let's go back to the school system. You know, grade 12. Then you got college. Then you got to take out a loan for college. Then you got to end up paying that back with interest. Now, by the time you get to the job, you're going to be overqualified. I'm telling y'all, this is real talk. Real talk. You go through all that, then you're going to be overqualified. Then you go get the job you want after you done finished. This is grade 13. This is grade 14, 15, 16. You finished. You go to college. You did that. You got your degrees. Now you going off to your job. Got my degree. I just graduated with honors. I graduated at the top of my class. Went to go get a job, and people told you was overqualified. You got all this education, you forgot what overqualified means. So you say, hey, sir, man, hey, man, what does overqualified mean? It mean that, hey, look, you got too much going on, and we ain't trying to pay you that right now. Yeah, we'd rather pay somebody else who don't have that much credentials, but they're going to do twice as much work. You got a little brain because you done finished, so you might figure out you might be better than some of the people that's there, and I can't pay you your work because you done already went to school for this, and I just hired this because that was my partner. I hired them because that was my partner. All the people that happened to you, I know what it, hey, rock with me, man, rock with me. KSBM. This is part one of breaking down the school system, man. Breaking down the school system that was really training us for going to work. That's all I'm trying to say. This school system was training us to go to work.